All right, Morgan, let's talk about this for a second because I know that we've been talking for the last few minutes while we're working about, this awful person called Perry and all of their little side effects.
Oh
And,
my word.
it's so funny because we were talking to a mutual friend and I really didn't even know that you were in midlife, which means I'm probably a senior citizen. I didn't know.
I didn't know 43 was midlife. When did this happen to me?
So, but I guess it is
Uh,
because my mom is 87 and that's about half of her age. And so,
oh
and
wow.
she's hanging on. Yeah, 43. It's half of 86, babe.
Catching up to me. Catching up to me.
So, we were just talking just now about the whole hair thing, right? So I don't mind, divulging my business and airing my business out here. Listen, clearly this is not my hair. Clearly these are braids, okay? I keep braids in the summertime, especially because they're super easy and they make me feel good. I get a lot of flack from people like, oh, you color your hair. Because I do. I color it black. It's not real black right now. It will be as of Friday because a girlfriend is getting her hair dyed on Friday. And
Mm-mm-mm.
I've taken a lot of, flack from people like, oh, you're not embracing your age. And I'm only taking it from people who, of course, have gone white or gray. And I just want to put it out there like, do you think that's the problem because they're not dyeing theirs? That they think that I shouldn't dye mine? Like, what do you think about that?
Like their own insecurities, that they're going natural and there maybe a little bit of jealousy going on kind of thing,
Hope it's not jealousy, but it could be.
or could it be that you just look that good
Uh,
and they're a little salty? It could be. I'll just say it. I'll just say
That is not it at all. You know what? I really believe that it's again one of these reasons why getting to after is important. When we were talking about earlier today about domestic violence as being the month of October, but that's not the only thing we talk about. There are all these issues that we walk around with.
it.
Everything from our weight, the way that our thighs rub together or don't, or whether our breasts are
Yes.
this size or not, or whether our hair is going gray and should we dye it, should we not dye it? Recently on almost every social media platform, this particular week, I don't know if you've seen it, Pamela Anderson is being brought out like crazy. And it's strange because I haven't seen Pamela Anderson for years and years and years. And all of a sudden, there's all this, footage of her and media of her. So I forget what show she was on or award show or something like this.
Baywatch.
No, no, I know what she was on back in the day, but I'm talking about
Oh,
now. And so, there's all these commentary about, she looks bad, she looks good, she doesn't do this. What happened to her eyebrows? She's not this or that. She's a pretty woman and she's aging and she's deciding not to do the some of the extras that other people are doing. And I just think it's so interesting that we as women will tear each other down like that. Like we will worry about how someone else looks to such a degree. And I do wonder, is it self-hatred or
ooh,
is it actually hating? Like, what is it?
that is a really good question because, ooh, that went deep real quick because it's like our own insecurities. And yet what makes us feel like we're not allowed to age like men do? Like they don't get criticized and they don't get, poked at. But as women, I definitely feel that we are held to a different standard. Like we
Yeah.
have to be perfect. Our hair has to be this, our nails have to be this, our skin has to be this, my eyes have to be this, like I can't have like wrinkles the way my what, like you have to be perfect all the time. But I'm sorry, honey, that's not, that's
Not
not,
realistic. And it's hard to sustain. Now, I
no.
will say that I'm going to keep my hair black. I mean, clearly and blonde, but I like black hair. And
Mhm.
so I was talking to a friend the other day and she's gone totally white. I think she's actually about 3 years younger than me. Totally white. Her hair is absolutely gorgeous, thick and beautiful. She hasn't had any hair loss or anything. She doesn't have any health issues. And quite frankly, I always had thick, beautiful, gorgeous hair, big, gigantic caterpillar brows. And then my thyroid was like, no, thanks.
Right.
So I lost hair, and we won't get into the details other places as well. And so you're just like, what's happening to my body right now? You know,
Yes.
but the thing is that one of the things that I feel that has been helpful for me, now I can't speak for you, but has been helpful for me with emotional freedom technique is when I'm by myself, is really tapping
Mm,
on some of those really personal issues, those personal things. And sometimes what I love about this modality is you can be triggered, you can be having a great day and you can trigger yourself and you don't even know why. And all of a sudden you don't
yes.
feel good. All of a sudden you
Yeah.
feel lousy. And what I've learned from working with women is for so long is that the little trigger usually comes from something so insignificant. So I'll give you an example. Sometimes it might just be like the way a woman she gets up and it's the way she feels her skirt on her backside. And so then she pulls it down and everything. So now all of a sudden she's triggered. My body's not the way it used to be. What are people thinking about the way I look? Who saw that? And it's like, honestly, most people are not paying attention because they're too busy worried about their own skirt.
Oh, that's like the other day. My sons had me laughing like no other. And I'm sitting there and I felt like Santa Claus for a second because my stomach was like jiggling up and down.
You
I
stupid.
mean,
You
I kid
stupid.
you not, dude. I kid you not. It was so funny. And then all of a sudden I'm like, why am I seeing my stomach move? And I was messed up in the head for a hot minute. Like really bad to the point where I went and bought like an exercise machine because I'm like, okay, this is not happening again, right? But then I realized, okay, honey, you had like four kids. You're not 20 anymore, even though up here I feel like I am, and that's
Right.
like a whole other thing.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
like how is it I feel
Yeah.
like I'm like 18, 22, 4-ish, right? But my body is saying everything completely
Yeah.
differently when I try to get up out of the bed or like, out of the chair and I'm like, oh, crack, crack, my
Yeah.
body.
I'm
It's
56. So
not.
listen, I know. I know. But in talking about this hair thing, like I know you were mentioning to me, you've had some hair thinning and things like that. And obviously, as a woman of color, I mean, we're both women of color, but different colors. Um,
Mhm,
my hair does different things, right? And so when we have what, we talk about losing edges and things of that nature, but a
mhm,
lot of that is physical. And what happens is that you beat yourself up. I'm not the same as I used to be. It's just such
mhm,
a negative conversation. And I don't mind putting out here that one of the products that I like to use, and I will try and find a link to it and put it down in the video. I use a product when my hair is like super, super white. And most days I don't care, but some days I care. I just really want it to not be that white. And so I will. I'll put a little bit of color on it. I have a coloring spray I'll use sometimes. I also have like a little powder that I'll use sometimes. Like the spray is awesome. You have to be careful with it because powerful. It's got like that long tip, like you're trying to get like a little bug in the corner, and you just spray it on there, and it's awesome. But
That's
it
like,
makes me feel. I think sometimes other people are so busy judging you because maybe they're not
mhm,
brave. I wouldn't say they're jealous. I think they're not brave. And so they're just like, so to me, when you decide to go white with hair, like when my mom decided to go white, that was brave for her because she had always colored her hair. And at which point I
mhm,
decide to go white, it's going to be a brave move for me. But I promise you, you're not going to probably see it white till I cut it off. And there's a certain age when I will cut it off and it'll be short
mhm.
and it'll be fierce and it'll probably be platinum blonde. Like that's what we do. You know what I mean? And I just think there's such an important thing about women finding that inner peace and cutting off all these messages that are no good for us.
Well, and then also being able to get to a point where you realize, okay, like we said a minute ago, this is who I used to be, but embracing who I am now in this moment in time, realizing, yes, my age is different, my health is different, stress level is different, my everything, my environment where we live, everything is different, and that's impacting it. Like loss of hair, like my youngest daughter, she was brushing my hair the other day, and I have like it's like three or four that I do like that Wolverine like stripe here with my gray. It's like gray. It's like silver. I don't even know what color it is. It's just not. It's
White.
not right. And then I have some going on back here, and then over here. But what got me, Tone? This is what got me right there.
In the
I'm like,
brow.
I don't even.
Oh, your
Like, I
brows
don't even
betrayed you,
have.
girlfriend.
Like, who did it? I was like, I don't even have eyebrows. I had to draw those on. How is there like the only one that was surviving was white, silver gray? Well,
It's just It's what's happened. So listen, let's just do something really interesting just for a hot second. Why don't we go ahead and do a tapping round about this? Now, normally when we're going to do tapping, it'll be about an issue that maybe is at the top of your mind. And so that's the whole thing. Emotional freedom technique, where accessing energetic meridian points in your body that go to different places that you're able to tap down and calm down your nervous system. If you've ever found that in the middle of the day, all of a sudden you feel very antsy, you feel very, very stressed
Mhm.
out, and you don't know why, what we typically do is we go get a cup of coffee, which is terrible because that's going to make you more hyper, or we go find some sugar, or we may do something which is very unhealthy. We may call somebody that is not a good person for us. We may
Mhm.
find ourselves relegating back to relationships, even friendships with women, or self deprecation. It comes back to us that instead of taking care of ourselves, we tear ourselves down. So we're feeling weird inside.
Mhm.
And sometimes wherever the chaos is on the inside, we try and match it with chaos on the outside, right? So that it
Oh,
feels
yeah.
balanced.
Feels normal. Yeah.
So that's what we do. So all of a sudden you're
Yeah.
feeling this angst on the inside. Then we go find something. Let me eat something that you know is not good for you. Let me go drink something that I know is not good for me. Let me go call this person. It just happens. So instead of trying to match the inner chaos with outer chaos, instead
Mhm.
just tap. It's just so much
Mhm.
easier. All right. So I'm going to do this little tapping strip right here. This was not planned at all, but I think it may be really beneficial because so many of us are going through you know, these kind of things where we're feeling ways about ourselves because we're changing. So we're just going to be talking, we're not going to talk about the change, but we're going to be talking about just some of those things. And so when you first start tapping, the whole goal is to come up with something that's on the top of your mind. So right now, we're just going to be talking about the changes of midlife, the changes in our body, and the changes in the way that we feel and not being 20 anymore. That's what we're going to be talking about. And what you want to do is you kind of want to measure that for yourself. Like, how does that feel for you? Like if I were to say, we're going to start with the negative because that's what you do. You tap on the negative so that you can bring
Mhm.
it to fruition. You acknowledge it so that you can release it. And the goal here will be to really think about, like, on a scale of 1 to 10, how does that feel for you? You're no longer 20. Your stomach's not flat. In my case, I have loads of stretch marks. When I get up, my hip hurts. It hurt. Listen, right? We don't get up silently anymore. If for some reason there's a little, uh,
Wait. I gotta say something on that. Let me speak on that for 2 seconds. Because when my dad, I remember when I was little, I was like 13 and I heard him get out of the car and he was like, like that. And I was like, I am never, ever gonna do that. So now when I get up, I'm like,
yeah, ooh, you come up with
that
a
way,
different way. Try and do it
it's
quietly,
not the same.
but
Not the
it's
same.
but it's the same though.
But it's there. It's there. It really is.
So I want to let's just do a tapping round. If this resonates for you, that you're just like, I feel that way. That stresses me out. Let's go ahead and let's tap on that for a second, okay? All right. So what we do is we have our four fingers like this side of our hand right here, that's known as the side of hand or the karate chop point. And what you're going to do, you take your four fingers and you're just going to tap very lightly. It's not hard. I'm not talking about leave your nails in your hand or anything like that. It's light. It's light. The body will receive it. So Morgan's going to tap along with me. And normally what would happen is if after your practitioner, I would say something, you'd repeat it back. So we're going to mirror what that looks like, because you can, as you're watching this, you can go ahead and tap along with us as well. So if this resonates for you, or even if it doesn't, you can go ahead and you can put in another thought of something that really hits you. And the goal is to think about how true is a statement for you. If I were to say, I hate the fact that I'm not 20 anymore. Does that like feel like, ugh, like that's a 10 for me? That's an 8 for me on the scale of 0 to 10, where 10 is that's 100% true, and zero being, oh, I don't have any energetic charge with that. That's what we want to look at. So we're just going to go ahead, and the scale is for you. So you decide what level you're at. You can decide that on your own. But if this doesn't resonate for you, but you're here, the tapping will work. Go ahead and verbally put your own thought in. Okay. So here we go. So we start with a deep breath, let it out. Even though I feel like I just can't stand the fact that I'm getting older, I completely
Even
love,
though,
oh, go ahead.
even though I can't stand the fact that I'm getting older,
I completely love and accept myself.
I completely love and accept myself.
Even though My stomach's not flat anymore.
Even though my stomach's not flat anymore,
I allow myself to relax.
I allow myself to relax.
Even though my body has gone through so many things,
Mm. Even though my body's gone through so many things,
I love myself.
I love myself.
Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to go through the tapping rounds. And since you've probably not seen this before, just go ahead and follow along with us. So what we do is I'm going to take my glasses off so they don't go flying across the room. We're going to go ahead and we're going to go through a tapping round and you're going to see me tap on different places. Just go ahead and just watch. Move my mic a little bit so you can see everything. So again, you're going to go in and you, not you, Morgan, but whoever's watching, you're going to go ahead and put in your own issue. Or if this resonates for you, go ahead and just repeat after us. Okay, so we're going to start at the eyebrow point, which is right in the inside of your eye. I'm not 20 anymore.
I'm not 20 anymore.
Side of eye. I can't stand the fact that I'm aging.
I cannot stand the fact that I'm aging.
Under the eye. It feels like just yesterday I was able to do anything I wanted.
It feels like just yesterday I was able to do anything that I wanted.
Under the nose. And now I can't.
And now I can't.
Under the mouth. And it makes me feel sad.
It makes me feel sad.
Collarbone. I wish things were just the way they used to be.
I wish things were just the way they used to be.
Under the arm. And every single time that it's not,
And every single time that it's not,
I feel sad.
I feel really sad.
Top of the head. I wish I could do exactly what I could do when I was 20.
I wish I could do exactly what I could do when I was 20.
Eyebrow point. But for some reason,
But for some reason,
I just can't.
I just can't.
Side of the eye. I'm noticing a lot of gray hair and I hate it.
I'm noticing a lot of gray hair and I hate it.
Under the eye. And not only that,
And not only that,
my hair is also getting thin.
my hair's also getting thin.
Under the nose. I can't believe it.
I can't believe it.
And I'm frustrated.
I'm frustrated.
Under the mouth. Sometimes I feel
Sometimes I feel
like a completely different woman.
like a completely different woman.
And I wish the old me
And I wish the old me
could come right on back.
could come right on back.
Collarbone. But at this point, I think I'm just stuck.
But at this point, I think I'm just stuck.
Under the arm. And I feel like nothing's going to change.
And I feel like nothing's going to change.
Top of the head. I wish I felt the way I felt when I was much younger.
I wish I felt the way I felt when I was much younger.
Now, what we're going to do now is we're going to switch up a little bit.
Okay.
Eyebrow point. But you know what?
But you know what?
I've learned so much.
I've learned so much.
Side of eye. When I was 20, I was in complete mess.
When I was 20, I was a complete mess.
Under the eye. And now I'm not
No, I'm not
because I have so much wisdom.
because I have so much wisdom.
Under the nose. And right now,
And right now,
there's so many things I can appreciate about who I am.
there are so many things I can appreciate about who I am.
Under the mouth. I need to remember them.
I need to remember them.
And I need to make sure
And I need to make sure
that I anchor them in.
that I anchor them in
Collarbone. Because I'm so much better than I think I am.
because I am so much better than I think I am.
And I have so much worth.
And I have so much worth.
And I deserve more.
And I deserve more.
And I'm going to get it.
I'm going to get it.
Under the arm. Because right now,
Because right now,
at this age,
At this age,
I'm as young as I'm ever going to be again.
I am as young as I'm ever going to be again.
Top of the head. And why should I waste a moment
And why should I waste a moment
feeling negative about who I am?
feeling negative about who I am?
Okay, let's take a deep breath. Let it out. How does that feel?
A lot different in the sense that you made me tear up, man. Like it's crazy. I tried to hold it together, but that's the thing. You don't even realize how powerful you speaking things, just saying it out loud, really affects you psychologically and physically. And then when you're putting the two together, you just have to
Timing
try
is
it for
it's
yourself.
so powerful. And when you know, here's one of the things. If you're listening and you might have teared up, the reason why you might tear up, you might yawn, different things will happen
Mm,
in your body. The more truth you tell your body, the more truth you tell your mind, because the mind and body is connected. This is not
mm,
woo woo. This is just reality. The more you speak to your body and you release those things, you will feel it in different places. You will feel it in different places. Now, that one didn't resonate as deeply with me because I did that one a couple days ago. And so
mm,
I've already released that. And I've been feeling like, okay, this is me. And when you can get there, guess what? You're a better mom that day. If you're married, you're a
mm,
better wife that day. If you work a job, you're a better worker that day. Why? Because you're not stuck thinking about your waist. You're not stuck thinking
mm,
about your stomach. You're not stuck thinking about your hair. You're living your life.
mm.
There is someone, always going to be someone that would love to trade places with where you are. Always.
So my youngest daughter said to me the other day, I was saying something, 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 and she goes, but we're not where we were last year. She said, I'm sorry, why are you complaining about the car when we didn't even have one? Why are you like, mom, okay, yeah, it's not what we want, but it's what we need and what we have for right now. So like we didn't even have this nice of something just a second ago. You know what I mean? So learning to be grateful for the things that you have in the moment in time, it's hard to get there. It's hard to get there. But once you realize it, like try to be like self-aware of that and just appreciate those moments.
And that's another thing you can do with tapping. And of course, I'm
Mm,
not going to push my book, but my book, Fat and Happy, talks about that, about finding those little moments throughout every single day where you can bring up those feelings. What did you love about today? I mean, it could be small. Sometimes the things I find are so minute. It could be like, the rice was just really, it was
Ooh.
just sticky just the way I like it. I don't care what it is. You
Right.
know, when you find those things and you tap on them, you actually anchor in pleasant moments and you'll find yourself smiling. The more that we're able to let our body do the talking for us, whether that's negative with a pain or whether it's positive with smiling and those endorphins and those positive, happy chemicals working for us, the better we were going
Mm,
to be in balance. And that's why we tap.
yes.
So we weren't even planning on tapping tonight. It wasn't even what we were going to do, but as this idea came
Mm,
up, I think it's important that we talk about the things that we're going through and then we go ahead and we just
mm.
tap on them, as they come up. So I hope you enjoyed this little short broadcast. I'm not even sure how short it was. We're not timed here. We're just trying to bring you the good stuff. We're trying to bring you the good stuff. We are getting to after. My name is Chatone Morrison,
I'm Morgan Bustos.
and we want you to feel amazing and confident. We want you to have a safe space. We want you to feel strong, empowered, and absolutely emotionally free. We'll talk to you soon.